Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So you guys requested for me to make a video on how I blend my eyeshadow, so that's what this video is. It took me quite a while to learn how to blend. All I can say is that practice makes perfect, so keep doing it. This tutorial is just going to be full of my tips and tricks of how to blend eyeshadows, products I use, tools I would recommend, things like that. Also, lip color that I'm wearing is MAC Store lip liner it's a mix of Colourpop's Kapow and Trap. They literally, don't they look almost similar? If you guys want to see how you can get this look, this is just eye look. Or if you want to know how I blend my eyeshadows or tips and tricks or products that I use, then keep watching. I get asked this question a lot to film a video on how to blend your eyeshadows. So honestly, I feel like it's down to like a few key things. Firstly, products, tools, and I guess skill. But skill isn't like, oh my gosh, you need to be highly skilled to be able to do this. Like, you don't really need skills. You just need to practice. Like, that's how I learned. Honestly, I just practice, and the more you do it, the better you get. It's like the same with anything in life. So, life lessons from Zed. Anyway, so honestly, this is not a difficult thing. Anyone can blend eyeshadows. We're gonna try and make it as simple as possible. Products, tools, skill. I don't like saying skill. Products, tools, techniques. Yeah, products, tools, techniques. So products first. Prime your eyelids, definitely, for a number of reasons. If you have oily eyelids like myself, I use Urban Decay's Primer Potion. I also have the e.l.f. Sheer Eyelid Primer. This is good to stop your eyelids from obviously getting oily. It'll help eyeshadows blend better on top of it, and it helps your eyeshadows last longer. They don't crease. No one wants to spend like a decent amount of time blending out their eyeshadow only to find out that 10 minutes later it's creased and you're just like, there goes my hard work. So always prime. Even if you don't have an eyelid primer, then you can also use concealer. Any concealer, but just make sure once you use concealer on your eyelid that you do set it with a powder, and like set it well with like a good powder, because otherwise your eyeshadows won't blend on top of it. Because this primer dries matte, then I'm not gonna set it, but just bear in mind that if you use things like concealer, that you do set it so your eyeshadows can blend smoothly on top of it. Otherwise, you'll notice that it'll just cling to patches and you can't blend, and then you're just shooting yourself in the foot there. Eyeshadows. Pick good eyeshadows. Sometimes higher end eyeshadows aren't as good as lower end eyeshadows. Similar the other way, like lower end isn't as good as high end. Like, you really have to, it depends on the product, depends on the brand, depends on the actual pigmentation of the eyeshadow, how it blends, things like that. One that has never ceased to amaze me is eyeshadows by Anastasia. Now this palette is discontinued. I think it was limited edition, the Shadow Couture palette, but I'm pretty sure all of these shades are still available. I love Morocco and Fudge. Anastasia has really good shadows. I would just always pick up a palette, to be honest, because they're all amazing. BH Cosmetics has good ones. I have the Carli Bybel palette. These are all really nice and they blend really well. Really inexpensive, affordable. Morphe has really good shadows too. I think I might actually use the 35L palette because you guys always love watching looks with this palette. All you really need is to create like basic eyeshadow looks. So this is a flat shader brush. This one I'm holding is by Zoeva, the 234 Luxe Smokey shader. This one is to just pack eyeshadows on your lid, just to place shadows. This is really good. You just place. For me personally, I don't always use a flat shader. I just go for a pencil brush because I just want to chuck stuff in the crease. So this one is really good for putting shadows in your crease. So it's very precise. It's a pointed flat shader brush. This one is also by Zoeva. It's the 231 Luxe Petite crease. This is good for placing shadows, and you can guide it into where you want it to be. You can also, you can also, I guess, do it with a flat shader, but for more, I guess, a better tool, I would say the pencil brush. Now, these don't have to be the exact brands you get. Get whatever brand you want. There's so many inexpensive brushes out there. And then a blending brush. This is by BH Cosmetics. It's just a fluffy blending brush. Get a good blending brush that is really soft, that you can blend with. Like, key is blending. That is it. That's where all the skill comes from. That's what the technique is. Blend. Spend your whole life blending. Other variations of these. For a flat shader brush, I've got one by Shop Miss A. It's the E22 brush. Now this one is dual fiber. This one's really good for creams or even glitter. So these are pretty good. Other blending brushes. I have one by Morphe. It's the E27. I really love using this one to blend. And yeah, there's a lot of different brushes. Find one you like. And then lastly, I guess technique, which I'm going to show you guys when I'm applying it. So we're just going to do a really light brown kind of smoky eye because I need something really neutral. We're going to grab the E27 by Morphe. And I'm going to grab the super light shadow here. Hopefully you guys can see that. Just grab like a skin tone light shadow, dust off the excess of it, and then just find your crease. Like if you tilt your head back and just stick your brush over here, your crease is this little line that your eyelid kind of falls into, and like you go like that, you see it, you know, that natural line. So that's where your crease is. So anytime someone's like, put it in your crease, that's where you put it. Because it's just like a light shadow and I don't want it to be too precise, I'm just gonna throw it in the crease with the fluffy brush, and I'm not gonna use the pencil one to be precise. People often call it your transition shade. So that's what is gonna be the base and like the first shadow, and it'll help with blending things over the top of it. If this is messy, like don't worry about it because it's meant to be. Do you see that? There's just like a little bit of something there happening. I'll just add a bit more because I got some big ass eyelids. Do keep in mind that not everyone's eyelids are the same. Some people might have folds in their eyelids. I have, I think, more folds in this one than the other one. Like they're not symmetrical. The key is to just play around with your eye shape. Try different ones. Try to go a little bit higher, a little bit lower. See what's more flattering in your eye. Like you could blend higher or lower. For me, if I blend too high, then I lose a lot of brow shape. So just brow area. So be careful of that. So that one's quite subtle. You can barely see it, but it's there and it's just gonna act as a base. Next, let's grab a pencil brush, the Luxe Petite crease. I'm just going to grab the shade here. I kind of wish that I was using my Anastasia shadows because I love that warm brown. And then this one, we're just going to precisely put it in the crease. And just drag it down. So we've literally just placed it, but this brush is dense enough that it kind of blends as it goes. It helps you do your job. That works. So already all I've done is place that shadow down and it's already kind of blended it out a little bit. Like I've literally been doing the work. I've just placed it in there and it's just doing it, you know. You also tilt your head back to find your crease if it's easier, but we're just building up the intensity. So then blend as you go. So I'm going to go back with my Morphe brush and all I'm going to do is just lightly go over that color. So then that means that we're just blending as we go and we're not left with like a mess at the end that we have to blend and tidy up, because the whole idea is to create like seamless transitions. And so this is going to blend into that first shadow that we put down. It's just gonna look great. We'll grab this shade here and put that right in the outer corner, just over here. And I'm just going to pat that on, and this is with the same pencil brush. We want that kind of intensity to stay there. I'm so confused which shadow was it. So I'm just going to keep patting it. So it's in the outside corner and it's going to stay there. I'm just going to apply that to the outside eye. That's where we're at, and then we're going to go back with the brush. So back with the Morphe brush, and as you can tell, it's all just like packing, blending, and like you see that's really harsh. So all you do is just go over that and just lightly blend. Now there's no strict way of blending. Like you can go side to side, you can go little circular motions. I just do whatever to make sure it's all seamless. I even close my eyelid a little bit. Makes me a little bit short-sighted because I can't see what's going on. When you've got good shadows and like good tools and you know the technique, then you can really use anything and it'll work. All I'm doing, I think I'm kind of using circular motions just because I feel like it works well with this brush and it fits well in my crease, and also the product just does well with that kind of movement. So I like this, but let's also add a bit more darkness. I'm just going to grab this blue brown shade and we're going to put that in the corner now. Just so there's a bit of a gradient and there's more dimension, and also in the outer part of my eye. That's pretty much all the shadows that we're going to be putting on, and I'm just going to go back with the same Morphe blending brush and make sure everything is nice and blended. So literally all you do is pack shadow on and then blend it out. If you're having trouble blending any of it, then grab that shadow that you put in your crease to begin with. I think it was this one, and then just use a little bit of that to blend out the edges. And that'll work out fine. Oh my gosh, I need to take a drink. This is coconut water. Just keep blending until you're satisfied with what it looks like. You can't blend enough, but like the more you do this, the quicker you'll get at it and it won't be so time consuming. That's pretty much how it looks like, and honestly don't be too bothered as well about trying to keep things even and symmetrical unless it's like crazy off balance. But my eyes aren't even, so it's not like you can't really do too much about that. So now I'm going to use my flat brush and I'm going to apply this shadow. We're doing mattes today, so this bone shadow. We're going to apply that on our brow bone first. Oh my gosh, you can see my eyebrow hairs growing back. I'm not allowed to touch them. My friend that does my brows, she's like, you have to let it grow out for 3 weeks. So once that's on, then I'm going to apply that on my actual eyelid. So we're just going to pat this on, just to bring some lightness back to our eyes. And also, because you would do the same thing with this if you wanted to apply like a glitter shadow, just so it's covering our skin and it makes it look really bright, because I don't really like having my skin tone be the shadow, if you know what I mean. Once that's all on, well, grab your blending brush again and just go over the edges for your brow bone highlight, and also just kind of lightly go over the shadow that we just put down and blend the two colors together. Like I just kind of bring it down so it blends well. And that's pretty much it. Like, do you see that? Pretty sure mine doesn't look that great, but I'm just like, you know, it's meant to be fun. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. And yeah, so I'm gonna finish the rest of my eye look, put on some mascara and things. It took me a really long time to learn how to blend, but once you got it, then you're good. So just keep practicing. Good products, use good tools, practice, blend a lot. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the tutorial, and if you have any questions, then leave them down below, or if you have any other requests, then leave those down in the comments as well. And that's about it. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Oh, so too small. So now that that's all done, actually let me just take, you know, I'm drinking coconut water. I'm always drinking something in all my videos. Oh, my mic is falling. Hopefully this is okay. I'm like yelling at the camera today. Hopefully you guys learned something in this video. If you did, leave that. Also, so oops.